G'day, how you going? I am Chromatic Schnitzel and welcome back to Automation and BeamNG Drive. It's been a while. Don't worry about that. I've been busy, and by busy I mean lazy. Today we are making the fastest modern hot hatch. Yes. We're going to beat the Renault Megane 4 RS Trophy R300 PS power, whatever that means. Anyway, to start off, let's go with monocoque. What does the Megane have? Aluminium, because I don't care. We're gonna go light HS steel, front transverse. Otherwise, if you're not front transverse, you're not a hatchback. You're not a hot hatch. It's just how it works. Ooh, this is fancy. We're gonna go for an inline 4, of course. ALSI, dual overhead cam, 4 valve. ALSI. We want to be able to rev high, so you want to lower the stroke, because a bigger bore leads to higher revs. Now, the Megane 4 RS Trophy R, it has a 1.8 litre turbocharged inline 4. We're going for 1.9 litre, because we just gotta one-up it in every way possible. We're gonna want VVT, not VVL, not really important, especially with turbo car. Turbocharged smart boost, because it's a well, it says 2020. It says 2020, but this is gonna be a 2022 car. Oh yeah, 2022. Let's just hope it's better than the past 2 years. Per cylinder performance high. We're gonna go for a high performance intake. We're gonna go up to premium RON, 95. Already we're making 96.4 horsepower. That's kilowatts, you muppet. Which is not great. How much boost does the Megane R produce? I don't know. We're gonna go for 1.5 bar of boost, not pounds. Bar thing. That is a fair size turbo. Let's increase this a bit. A more aggressive tune to the turbo. On Philman86's Discord server, he has pinned in the automation text channel a thing on how to tune turbo engines. So I'll link to his Discord in the description, if you're allowed to use Discord, that is. If you are, I'd recommend you go there, if you want to learn how to use the turbo tuning properly. That's a big chunky boy. Me likey. Can go quite high. Nice. We're gonna max out at 7,200. The Megane 4 RS, they maxes out at 7,000. Pathetic. We gotta max out at 7,200. So the goal here is to hopefully set a better time around the Nürburgring. It's set a 7-minute 30 something. No, 47 I think it was. Or was it 7-minute 40 flat? Don't quite remember, even though I only looked at that about 15 minutes ago. It doesn't matter. Now we're only making. I bloody hate this bug. Stop going down there. Oh wait. We're producing 21.6 kilowatts of power, which is not much, but that's because we're knocking. So one way to fix knocking is you can increase your cam profile, which can be a bit finicky with a turbo car. You can also reduce your compression, which is typically what they do on a turbo car. They run lower compression ratios, because they don't need that high compression ratio, because all the power is coming from the turbo, as opposed to the compression ratio in the pistons, in the cylinders, sorry. The Megane produces 400 Newton meters of torque at 3,200 RPM. Oh, so we want to be able to, we want a smaller turbine. Why is it exploding all of a sudden? Temperature of the turbo, of the the turbo, whatever. English, stop failing me. So yeah, the temperature is too high. To fix that, just increase the turbo diameter. Sorry, the exhaust diameter, which is actually quite small. Well, it was quite small. Now it's chungus. Like, it's wide. that's only 2.8. It's 2.8 inches. That's why. Let's go for 2.5 inches. So it's not completely ridiculous. So here's the intake exhaust pressure. That is quite a big gap. So yeah, 2.8 inches is the way to go. Don't really care about that graph. We're not producing as much power because we just can't. That's a weird ass boost graph. That's not how that works. That's not how that should work. Okay. Now we're producing 220. The turbo half spools at 3,900, and then fully spools at 3,700, and then hits its peak at, well, it boost creeps up to 1.61 bar at 6,900, which is why we have this weird power curve. Oh my word, no one's enough of a nerd about engines to care anymore. Let's just get to the design, seriously. Alright, let's leave that how it is. Okay, so the Megane RS Trophy R 300 PS.
What it is, it's called the Boxster Spider, and it's kind of a super lightweight version, so it only weighs 1,250 kilos, top speed 166 miles an hour, 0 to 64.8 seconds. And it's that fast because it's got a very clever gearbox. It's called a...
Is it German?
Oh, it's a German name, and it's really complicated. So let me just spell this out. It's a DOPPELKUPPLUNG. SGETRIE. That's what it is.
Can we get it on the screen? Get it. Oh, there's so many Germans here.
That's a long word.
That is a...
Has a 6-speed manual gearbox, so we're gonna have a 6-speed manual gearbox because I have the Logitech shifter, the new one, and not the amazing TH8A from Thrustmaster, which has a 7-speed manual as well as a dedicated reverse gear. Nerd! I really want that. So viscous LSD because this is a hot hatch. We'll just leave the quality as is. Radial sports compound. What's the size of the tires? 245s. Wow, that's max. Can't even have that on the rear. Oh wait, now we can fit 245s in the rear. Oops. So it's on 19-inch rims. Wow. We'll go up to 675. Alloy rims. Could go for carbon fiber, actually. Like, if we're going for fast around the Nürburgring, we have to have carbon fiber. That's just the rules. Vented discs, because that's what the Megane has. Big old discs. I love this new front force and rear force slider. I don't understand how it works though. It's a bit confusing to me. So sport under tray, cooling flaps, they do nothing. Lower that a bit, increase the brake airflow. Because if we're going through the Nürburgring, we're gonna need that extra airflow. Sports, premium infotainment, sure. We're going to have hydraulic power steering because electric power steering is crap. It's more reliable, yeah, but it's less sporty. I mean, I don't think the variable actually does anything. It seems, I don't know, it just seems when it comes to BeamNG. ESC because of course, Advanced 20s because there's a 2022 car. Oh, it's a 2022 car. Electric, nah. Hydraulic. Make up your mind, seriously. Active Sport, Semi-Active, and Sport preset. Front dampers are high. Brake force. Rear brake force. What? Ooh. No! The game just crashed. Everything's fine. Phew. And nothing of value was lost. Kick your feet up, relax, and enjoy the sound of music, my voice, and making a car. To start off, I make the car leather, makes it easier to see the body lines. Play around with the idea of custom headlights, didn't do it for me. So I start playing around with the lower grille, maybe it'll help me find some good headlights. Add the upper grille, those headlights look horrendous. We'll fix that later. Moving on to the fuel cap and door handle now. Moving on to the tail lights now, these are a pain in the butt to do, so I decide to do the license plate, but then I changed my mind, back to the tail lights, those look good. Try my hand at a brake light, doesn't work, so I decide to move it to the sides of the tail lights. Adding a fake diffuser now, removing the underfloor. Messing around with the chassis now. Adding an exhaust now. Where's it going? Oh, it's going to Narnia. Okay. Why do I keep saying now? I don't know. I discover it just loops back to the engine creator. I see if adding vents make it look better. It does not. I give this thing some rims because Steely's a cringe. I view my horror piece and decide the front needs redoing. My word, this is difficult. How the hell does Twin Turbos do his voiceovers? It's just insane. Without mods, there's not many good mirrors, so I just gotta make do. The side is looking a bit bland, so I try to figure out what I can do to fix that. I try indicators, didn't work. Try vent, didn't work. Try vent and indicators, that works perfectly. The side was looking a bit flat, so I tried some body morphing, didn't look good, so I did some morphs. Oops, ran out of storage. The morph broke a few things, so I had to fix that. Time to give the front end some plastic surgery. I finally decided what brand I want this car to be. It's going to be Howdy. Finally getting on to the aero, try some on-roof designs, none of them really look good, so I decide to have a rear-attached one. I also hide one in the front bumper and view the stat. Just tuning the engine a bit before we get to the interior now. But first, branding. Yes, browning? Really, browning? Really, brain? Anyway, this car is the Howdy Brisket 12 Ti 233KW. Oh yeah. Long names. Gotta love them. I know I don't. I'm just playing around with the badging now, but yes, as you can guess, this is a Texan car, sorry. Adding the window wipers now, because otherwise you can't see when it eventually rains in Texas for 10 weeks straight. Huzzah! The headlights are fixed, and now we make it red, because that red just looks absolutely lovely. So starting off with interiors, I like to remove the chassis. It just gets in my way, and I don't like it. As such, we need to add our own chassis tunnel. Quite small, because it only needs to fit the exhaust. Time for the dashboard now. I start off with the modern dash, but it's automatic, so therefore it goes in the bin. So I decide to make my own modern dash with a custom screen, which doesn't work in BeamNG, but I don't care. Adding in a steering wheel, adding in a chair, and oh looky here, the game's crashed again. But we're back and everything's fine, except the paint has changed back to default, so therefore it looks ugly now, so we're gonna have to change that soon. Adding in the seats, originally this was supposed to be a 4-seater, but I changed my mind because the rear seats were being too much of a pain in the ass. I love how emotionally attached I get to things, it's hilarious. Besides my autistic ramblings, we're adding in a boot filler now, and adding in some door cards, just to make the interior look that extra bit spotless, and I've crashed again, why? We have a bit of a lighting bug now, but going in and out of the engine designer fixed that quite nicely. There's nothing really to commentate on when you're just doing interior gubbins, but we're doing the roof liner now. I love this mod that they've made into the game, just as standard. Doing the dash filler now, it's a pain in the ass with the new dash filler thing, so I just do the old method. it's still a bit crap, but it'll do. Adding some, you know, the pedals, the brum brum haha, changing the paint color to blue, I think. I don't know, I couldn't see that. I was too fast. But we're coming to the end of the time lapse now, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe consider subscribing, or maybe just even a like, I don't care. Whatever you want to do, dislike even, maybe, actually don't, please, no. Comment though, if you liked it. Thanks. And here it is, the Howdy Brisket 12, in all its glory in automation. So-called glory, actually. Because, well, you'll see. But yes, it looks lovely in automation, and I just hope it looks the same in BeamNG. It's a very nice looking car, at least in this lighting. I mean, just look at that rear end, that's a nice rear end. Anyway, to Beam. And here it is in Beam, looking lovely and lovely. First we're going to see how well it does around the automation test track, just because it's where I like to test my vehicles. Sounds nice in Beam. Go. This is going to be a sweat mode lap, so sorry about the no talking. Actually, no, I will talk. Nürburgring will be sweat mode though, so that will be talking in post, of course. Ooh. I did. Oh. Okay, you know what I'm gonna blame there? I'm gonna blame the bloody thing going wobbly. Let's try that again. This time, my wheel won't be messed up. Right. As soon as it gets onto the power back, as soon as the turbo kicks in, it gets a bit of wheel spin, at least in first. And a bit in second if you're not careful. Good through the S's. Slow it down for Ban Hammerhead. Get turned in nicely. Ooh, very agile. Coming up to the carousel. Slow it down a bit. Shift into second. There we go, nice through the carousel. It's really pleasant to drive. Coming up to the whatchamacallit slingshot, that's the word. Very planted, little lift there, just to get the car turned in. Brake at 220. Ooh. No, I've buggered it. Ah. Done. Let's rewind back to the top of the slingshot and try again. Alright. Now we're coming up to the slingshot again. I think I could, yeah, I can floor it through this time because I wasn't in fifth yet. So a bit slower through the slingshot. A bit wide, but we made it. Brake at the 100-meter board. Ooh, brakes nicely. Get into the boost. I shifted too early. Oh well. sign, shift down. Little break here. A bit more of a little break. Get it turned in nicely. There we go. Up to the final corner, down into second, and then floor it straight to the line. No oversteer, but that's to be expected from a front-wheel drive, front-biased hot hatch. Overall, handles well. I'm very happy with how this handles. Handbrake. Yeah, let's take this to the Nürburgring. 3, 2, 1, go. I don't know how hot lap works. Okay, well, there's nothing in game I can do to... but I don't know how hot lapping works, and I'm not going to look it up because I'm assuming it's broken anyway. Let's go for a hot lap around the Nürburgring. I don't actually complete a lap at all ever, so I've got an idea. Benny Hill time. Turns out no, it's not the fastest hatchback around the Nürburgring. Mainly because it couldn't complete one lap of the Nürburgring, but that's irrelevant. And on that terrible disappointment, it's time to end. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah, goodbye.